Splat Force 3 being a very, very good Splatoon 2 team, formerly known as Splat Force, and Sunset Shores, formerly Deep Blues, a very well-known team from Splatoon 1. And as we jump into the action here, we're going to see like a very competitive set here with very experienced teams.
Yeah, no backline actually coming out of Sunset Shores. I thought my team was the only one doing that. Here we go. No backline coming out on their side. It's going to be all gas, no brakes coming out from that side. While Sunset Shores, while Splat Force 3 is going to try and shut them down. And that's exactly what they're doing already. Off to a really quick start. A power clam coming in. They go in just a little bit before they're ready. And that gets the power clam taken out, but that's not going to stop Splat Force. They get that first clam in. The Ingvat coming out from Avril. That just blocks all of the shots coming out and can allow you to force a push in. And that's exactly what happened. Todd coming out, getting a couple kills, and this push is going to continue onwards. The score is going to end, but they still have the entire map to work with.
What an absolutely wild push by Splat Force 3, because how aggressive they were right at the start, but they also weren't ready at the same time. There weren't a lot of specials to follow up with for that push to sustain it any longer past 80 points. So that was really fortunate for Sunset Shores to be able to hold them off to 80 points, just one clam ball. And now returning back to this neutral situation here, we see a couple of members being taken out on each side, a 3v3 situation with Soda's up and activated. Booyah launching from the side of Sunset Shores, looking to create some moon. 2 go down on the side, 3 down on the side of Splat Force 3, and we're already seeing like a bit of a counter push setup here for Sunset Shores.
Yeah, we can see them moving in on that basket. One going down a little bit too early. That backline, Avril on the charger, punishes people for poking a little bit too far out before they're ready. The power clam is going to die. They're not able to pick it up in time. Too much fire was focused on it to stop that push from continuing further. Really good job coming out from Splat Force 3, shutting down that push. They burned some specials in the process, but they're ready to move in. 2-down situation, and they're going to continue the aggression on their side, but not if Sunset Shores has anything to say about it. The machine, as well as Spirit on that zap, going to get some quick picks and turn the momentum in the other direction.
Both teams seem to be punishing each other's mistakes very frequently. The reason why Sunset Shores wasn't able to push at all was because one player was just ran right into the basket with no backup whatsoever, and Splat Force called them out on their mistake for being way too aggressive too quickly. That being said, they tried again with the ball, preparing with the killer whale, but to no avail. Nothing is yielded from that push, and the ball nope, it doesn't disappear just yet, but it was at risk too. But that being said, we're still kind of seeing this wall here that Splat Force is putting up and preventing Sunset Shores from even starting a push.
Yeah, I think that part of what's shutting Sunset Shores down here is Avril on that charger. Backlines in this game, most of them seem to sport the Inkvac special, and that's a really interesting thing that lets backlines get up and close to the action and keep themselves alive in the process. Even though Avril goes down, the rest of the team is able to follow up and, or maybe it wasn't Avril that went down, but they're able to follow up in the process. But here's a big situation, a 4 down, a full wipeout. A power clam comes in, 7 more clams on the board for them. This is going to be a huge push. Deadbird trying to get all the way up into the spawn. If they're able to get there, they will be able to hold their ground, while you can see one of the members back in mid trying to get those clams to continue that push. And this is a really big score coming out from Sunset Shores here.
Sunset Shores sustaining their push with their specials, and the killer whale was crucial for getting those extra clams in. And it seems like Splat Force was able to quickly react after that wipeout, but that wipeout was a crucial mistake that Sunset Shores were able to capitalize on. Now with less than a minute left, and the inzap goes down on the side of Splat Force 3, and the crab tank goes down, Splat Force 3 is in a lot of trouble here, looking into potentially making up those clams count and getting back into this game.
Yeah, but all those aggressive shooters on the Splat Force here are helping to lock down that middle of the map. A very nice Zuka shot coming out from Todd, sniping one of the members. 2 down onto Sunset Shores. Here comes the aggressive push. The machine is the last one in between Splat Force in the basket. A very well-placed suction bomb, though, is going to slow down that push. The cooler comes out, trying to keep that push going for as long as possible. The vacuum comes out. Here they come trying to brute force that push, but it doesn't look like they're quite ready yet. Here comes the shot coming out, but it looks like Sunset Shores doing a great job of just holding their ground, locking it down. The Dually Squelchers sliding in onto that right side, locking down, taking out that Power Climb user. Now that Power Climb is their last hope. They need to get to it, but not with all the firepower Sunset Shores is putting out. It looks like unless a miracle can happen here, Sunset Shores is going to take this game 1. There we go. The counter push opens the basket. Game 1 to Sunset Shores.
What an absolute bloodbath that was. Hold on. Let's talk about that for a second. I think for most of that game, each team had like 2 players down on each side. There was just constant back and forth trades, kills, splats. What an absolute bloodbath.
Oh my gosh. Look at...
They all are dabbing. They're all dabbing.
Oh no, I was wondering when that was going to happen. I was wondering.
Man, what a way to dunk on Splat Force, having everyone dab on them right at the end to secure the win. And celebration. I
mean, it's a way to show your team synergy.
Everyone has got to be coordinated, you know, like in every which way possible.
They've got the Splatfest synergy bonus.
Indeed. But, okay, wow, that was... Wow, lots of back and forth, just... These players are really taking advantage of punishing what their opponents do. I don't like. There were so many moments where you think Splat Force would have the upper hand with taking advantage of some crucial plays that Jimmy or Todd were making. However, you would think that Sunset Shores would just take a complete 180 and just surprise them with one little mistake that someone would make, and they would completely flip the table on them, and all of a sudden, there's a wipeout and a push, and Sunset Shores has set them up for a great win.
Yeah, I mean, Splatoon's a crazy game because, you can get a really good pick, but if you immediately just kind of go to a silly place and get splatted afterwards, like, it's not that relevant. But if you, like, get a good pick and then play objective well, you don't even need, like, a second one. That can be the kind of difference between whether your team gets a push out of it or whether your team just gets a trade and then it just becomes another neutral situation. And there was a lot of situations in that game where I think individual players went down and most of the time nothing came out of it. There was just that one big opportunity where one member went down and they weren't able to back up in time, and 2 members, 3, 4, the whole team got wiped out here. And I think that opportunity there is really what gave Sunset Shores that game. Rapid Blaster coming out. I have not seen anyone pull this out in comp besides myself, and I'm really happy to see it. Actually, they may have pulled it out once when we scrimmed against them.
Oh,
yeah,
possibly.
So it's good to see. Mincemeat Splat Zones, this is definitely a great map for it. Ink Mines coming out great to help lock down that zone here, especially when that's the only way between one side and the other. We do love to see the Rapid Blaster poking from a distance, and hopefully the team's able to take advantage of that. But that vacuum seems to be helping quite a bit here.
Both teams are yielding chargers, which is a great call for such a tight and linear map. I mean, whoever has the better charger here is going to win the outcome of this game. And Splat Force, being a very strong team with Avril, a very well-known mid-level charger player, that is going to be one of the key players to this game, and how this is going to play out for Splat Force and tightening those mistakes that they had made earlier.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the big things on this map is that no push is really safe until you can get a couple picks onto their plat. If you just hold the zone while the enemy team's still alive, it's not going to get you too many points. You could see exactly what happened right there. Sunset Shores got a little bit overzealous with that push. They pushed onto the enemy plat, got themselves in a 2v1 or a 1v2 situation, and weren't able to hold it. And that takes the momentum in the complete opposite direction. Here comes the vacuum, trying to help their team get in. Looks like they're not quite able to push forward with it. And so they're going to get a very small explosion out of that one. Not too much out of it. The crab comes in perhaps a little bit late. They do get 2 very nice picks out of that, though. They do go down in the process, not able to take the zone back. Some very nice picks that could help them get back in, though, if they act fast.
but no one was capitalizing on that crab tank. Those 2 kills were crucial, but the crab tank was completely unsupported. So now, with 15 ticks left on the clock here, I mean, Splat Force is going to come up with something quick to paint the zone. They do, fortunately, with 4 members up against 2 of the Sunset Shores. It looks like we're about to see a slight delayed wipe here and punishing some of those mistakes.
Nice.
Fantastic play here by the Splattershot Pro, locking down the final members of Sunset Shores, trying to escape from their mistake. And now we're going to see a flip of the script here. 1 down on the side of Sunset Shores, and Splat Force is ready and locked and loaded to hold up this defense and hold this zone.
Oh, I love what they're doing here over on this left side.
Oh,
the ink
I
back
see it.
and the crab coming out, stalling over here as long as possible. That's kind of what you need to do on this map. There's no way to really spawn camp here, but unfortunately they are going to go down. They're not able to clear out the plat, and so Sunset Shores is going to come in full force, take out multiple members. Todd with that Ninja Squid trying to get themselves in, clear that zone, and perhaps neutralize it. The Zuka comes out, a very nice pick on that left side. That's what Zuka can do, can challenge those longer range weapons and areas that you can't normally, and that's going to help Splat Force get back in here. The flank coming out from Todd, but it's not going to make a difference here because they are aware of it so quickly. Rapid Blaster punishing as the other members come in to finish them off. Well-coordinated push. Really great clear out from Sunset Shores.
What a fantastic play by the Rapid Blaster, taking advantage of the linearity and the corners of the walls to get that crucial chip damage needed to convert those splats. And now, once again, Splat Force 3 is on the back foot. They are cramped up as can be on this right court area, and the vacuum is trying to push them back a little bit longer. The penalty is removed now. Only a few ticks left. The tri-sticks are coming out, securing the wipe on Splat Force 3. And that is the game. Sunset Shores with a little bit of flair there from that tri-ink strike, securing the zone. And wow, that was just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, both teams showed they had opportunities to really hold the zone, and Sunset Shores was the only one that was able to kind of fully take advantage of that. I think there were a couple opportunities where when the ink vacs came out, it felt like they were used in situations where they weren't immediately getting pressured. And I think, you know, that kind of reinforces like how important, you know, the timing of your specials are.
Agreed.
If you use a special and the enemy can just kind of wait, it's not necessarily going to get that much value. So there's some situations where, you know, you can be really aggressive with ink vacuum. You can eat so much ink from like almost point blank and live. So I think like if you use it more aggressively, it could do even more work. And I think if you use it the exact same moment a teammate is pushing up or using like Crab Tank, like we kind of saw that opportunity where Crab Tank came out just after the vacuum ended, and it was so unfortunate that if they came out at the same time, that could have meant everything for Splat Force, but they were not able to get it quite there. But nonetheless, they've shown a lot of teamwork going in, and it's just not quite totally come together. But maybe it will here on Tower Control Eeltail.
I was just about to say, to your point, with that crab tank, that moment was so crucial in my eyes because, again, converting those splats were so important to Splat Force at the time. But because no one was there to follow up on the crab tank from Jimmy, it's just all for naught. And that's where I think the difference between these two teams right now in this set is that Sunset Shores is executing. They're able to execute their team synergy and their special utilization a lot more effectively than Splat Force 3 so far. Splat Force 3 did tighten up a bit in this game, I would feel like, but there is still some execution problems that they're definitely going to have to overcome and tighten those mistakes and prevent those mistakes from happening again as we go into the next map, Tower Control on Eeltail Alley.
Oh gosh, this is a map. This is a this is a map. Eeltail Alley is exactly that. It's an alley. It's extremely narrow, extremely cramped. This is a map where very fast-paced play, things like blasters can work really well, chargers can work really well, and I mean, this could be over in an instant. Double T-Tech and range blaster coming out on the other side for that AoE damage. No blasters on the other side. Very similar comp. I think that's identical, actually, coming out on Splat Force. And, you know, they think, okay, our team comp is not the problem. It's how we played it that's the problem. While Sunset Shores is like, we're going to take advantage of the map mode combination to the fullest.
Agreed. With the double Ingzuka there, I think that is going to be very crucial into targeting places where the charger likes to sit. I mean, all of a sudden, I mean, forget even using the Trizukas. Sunset Shores are going into Sunset Overdrive right now. They are going absolutely insane, taking the tower, already blasting through this first checkpoint, exerting so much pressure onto Splat Force. They have no choice but to coop up with each other and kind of huddle their spawn point. I mean, we're almost to the second checkpoint already, and we're not even a minute into this match.
Yeah, okay, finally, Jimmy and NM on that top right, doing a great job playing patiently, taking out one of the members. The Inkvac comes out, a very clutch shot, though, is going to clear out some space. Here comes the tower rolling into the end, and it's over in an instant. Just that aggressive play. Every weapon on their team could punish enemies for peeking, and that's exactly what they did. They just did nothing but punish and get random picks. Random picks on oopsies. Random
sass. It was sass.
Random sauce picks on Splat Force. And
slip of the tongue.
Oopsies.
Wow, that was an absolute, I hate to say this, but that was a steamroll.